I got up to a nice surprise this morning. That's these. They're called Webb's Wonder or Webb's Wonderful lettuce, and they're a crisp iceberg lettuce, and they're also not as prone to bolting when it gets hot as some lettuces are, so this one is a really good one to try. And the reason that were a nice surprise is because somebody gave them me from this site who grows their own plants as well. So some nice healthy little plants there. They've also got another variety as well, and it's also an arting lettuce, but it's red. So they're also going to drop me a pack of those off, which is brilliant. So the plan today is to tidy up these beds and get some of these in. Unfortunately, we have got a little bit of a problem with them planters at the moment. They're getting way too full. I put a couple of tumbling tom plants in there, and I didn't think they'd get as big as they have done, so they're now starting to overshadow everything. So as much as I don't really want to do it, I've decided to dig those plants up and transfer them to containers and hope that they can stand that transplant shock and don't die. I've already done one, but I'll show you the other two that I'm going to have to move before we can get these sorted out, and a couple of other plants later on. There is tumbling toms either side of that planter, and since we've had all that rain and sun, they've gone mad. They've really shot out all over the place. So they're now starting to overshadow these peppers, which I don't want, because they are trying to fruit. And the same on this side. They're all growing over the top of these peppers. So I'm going to sort that out today. We're going to dig them up and hope they pull through after we've transplanted them. One other thing I noticed this morning, which is good news, is this cucumber plant. We've now got another mini cucumber ready to harvest. So we'll take that off while we think about it. Another really nice looking little cucumber there. We also had a tumbling tom plant in this container as well, right in the centre, but that once again was overshadowing that beetroot. So I've dug that one up and we've cleared it out, and that's where we're going to put these Webb's Wonder lettuce. But before I do that, I'm going to clear that one as well. And I've got a couple of containers ready, load rolls in bottom and a bit of gravel to help with that drainage. So you can see the problem. If I let them continue to grow, they're just going to fully cover everything. And I should have thought about that before I did it. I just didn't think they'd get that big. But that is amazing. Another little mini cucumber. So we've got that. We've got a pack of fresh lettuce to plant. So now let's get these dug out, transplanted, and hope for the best. And that's one that I've just done. That's a tumbling tom, but it's a yellow one. So we dug it out, got as much of the root system as we could, and I've popped it here. And to help with that transplant shock, we're keeping that in shade today, and hopefully it's going to pull through, because this has also got a few little tomatoes growing on it already. And due to all those winds we were having yesterday, I had to move quite a lot of plants right back of this van, because they were getting battered. But they seem okay today. But the sun is round the back of this van at the moment, so for now I'll leave them where they are. I've also got some different compost today. Jack's Magic. I just popped at garden centre. I thought we'll get a couple of bags extra to get this job done. They are, however, being quite sneaky. These are 3 for £15 and they're 50 litre bags. And that was when I went and fetched them a couple of weeks ago. And now the exact same ones are 20. So because we're almost at July, they've decided to put that price up. But we need the compost, so we've bought 3 bags and we'll get this job done now. So we'll get this in. I'm not going to fill this right to the top because we've got to get all that root system in as well. And what I want to do is place it in here so all those branches rest on the edge of this container. And that's going to offer that plant extra support. And we're also going to bury it a little bit deeper as well. So let's dig this plant up and hope for the best. I'm going to have to just dig down and try and prise it out without damaging it too much. As you can see, there's lots of roots on this plant. I'm going to try and centralise it as best I can, but as I said, at the same time I want to push it down. You probably have to put a couple of canes in to help support it. And carefully backfill around that as well. And then just keep firming it in. I've never dug up a tomato plant at this stage and tried to repot it, so I have no idea what's going to happen. But we definitely need to stabilise it somehow. That's not a bad job. And I've got a cane, so I'll just feed that down as close as I can without damaging anything. Push it right at the bottom. And then we'll tie it on. We have to remember how windy it gets around here. So what I'll do is I'll add some Miracle Grow feed to this and try and get it boosted back up. Now we'll go and pop that into that shady area. Well, that's the job done. So we just keep his fingers crossed and hope for the best with those. Then I'm going to dig out that other one and do exactly the same. But before I do that, we're going to get these into that area that I've already cleared. But we'll add a bit of fresh compost first, just to amend it and build up those nutrients. I'm just going to firm it down a little bit, not too much. Ready for these plants going in. They're definitely ready to go. So we'll space them first, and then we'll get them in. And I think that's about right. They're about a foot apart, so that's ideal for an iceberg lettuce. So once again, we're firming those in and keeping those leaves off the compost. We don't want it rotting before it's got started. Quick and easy, job done. We'll get those watered in around the base of those plants so we don't burn those leaves. And then we'll get that other tumbling tom dug out and we'll see what happens with those plants over the next couple of weeks. For a Saturday morning, another job done. We've had a couple of fresh homegrown little germ lettuces out of those containers this morning. Around 5-6 strawberries and a mini cucumber. And now we've took those tomato plants out, we'll just hope for the best. But if nothing comes of that, we have still got 4 or 5 more around garden. But at least now, all the plants have got a little bit more breathing space. And thank you so much to Paul Braithwaite for donating to the channel. I really do appreciate that, Paul. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we'll get that money put back into this channel. If you're interested in seeing what else we're going to be doing over this weekend and how these plants turn out in the long run, then please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care and enjoy your weekend.